Hi, Jared Hoyman with VisibleTour.com, and welcome to my version of an EOS R review slash whatever it's going to be. I apologize. It has been a long time for videos, and I said that the last time too, and that was a long time for videos. It's just been an awesome growth period for my business. It's great. I can't complain. So it's awesome. But I really appreciate you guys subscribing, sticking around, and waiting for these videos. And I hope that this one does some kind of enlightenment for you, especially since it's like the most controversial video out there, talking about the EOS R, especially if you like it like myself. So I labeled this, Why the EOS R is a Professional Camera. Or maybe I labeled it, because I haven't done it yet, maybe it's labeled, The EOS R is a Professional Camera. That's better. That's what I'm labeling it. The EOS R is a professional camera. And I'll tell you why it's a professional camera. Because I'm a professional. That's why it's a professional camera. A camera does not make you a professional. You make the camera a professional. That's how that works, okay? And I think a lot of people out there have it wrong. They don't understand that. They believe they have to buy the gear to make themselves professional. Let me give you some cases and some points with those cases, okay? So, case in point. Case in point, or case in point, whatever you're looking at. It's gonna go like this. 2002, Jared used his tuition money and bought a camera. A video camera, a camcorder, mini DV, 520 lines, which was a high resolution back then. I used that camera for fun in college, but I also made some money off of it. Was it professional? No. Did I make some money? Yeah, great. Let's fast forward to 2008. I bought the Canon XHA1. The Canon XHA1, do you know which camera that is? I mean, go Google it right now. That camera retailed for $4,000. I got it on sale for $3,200. That was the coolest thing ever. I paid cash for it. I saved up. I wanted it. I bought it. I did jobs with it. I made money off of it. That was considered a prosumer professional camera. It was great. Then in 2009, 2010, the DSLR fab came out. And so you have a good friend of mine who's on YouTube, Tony Reale. He does on Next Wave DV. He owns Creative Edge Productions here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And he went out and bought a 5D Mark II that does 1080. Let's go back a little bit. This Canon XHA1 that I bought, that I paid $3,200 for, that retails for $4,000, that camera is 1440 by 1080. It's not even a full 1920. But the picture was amazing. It was awesome. And nobody knew the difference. They were just like, that's an amazing picture. But nobody realized that it was a 1440 by 1080 and you're spending almost $4,000 for that camera. So then you get 1080p with this 5D Mark II. Now, I already owned the Canon XHA1. I didn't want to buy a 5D Mark II for another $3,500 plus get a lens and everything with it. And so I came across the Canon T2i and I thought, oh, this Canon T2i, you know, maybe I'll use it as kind of a B camera. And I get full 1080. I'm finding that it's sharper with these lenses than the Canon XHA1. It's producing awesome video. It's only $800 with a kit lens at the time. And it's a Rebel. And I don't mean that like, ooh, that's a Rebel. I mean, it's like an entry-level camera. Rebel. Like, you're like, oh, you're getting into DSLR. Oh, that's so great, Jared. Good for you. You know, like condescending. But this thing produced awesome images for 2010. In 2010, not many people were shooting in 1080, and you're getting some awesome depth of field with these lenses, and basically you're looking at the lens to get the sharpness. So now I'm realizing that my $3,200 camera really isn't that great anymore. So I ended up selling it for like $2,200. And then I'm thinking, wow, I'm ahead. Let's fast forward a little bit. my business starts picking up. I form in 2013, I form visibletour.com, which focuses on real estate photography, 360s. Later on in the future, it's going to be drone and everything else. But at that time, it is 360s and real estate photography. And I'm only using the T2i. And none of my clients asked, what are you using, Jared? I'm using a Canon. Oh, okay. They don't know. They don't care. They have no idea. And I'm charging whatever I wanted to charge at the time, and my business is growing. It's fantastic. But in the back of my head, I kept thinking, you know what? Maybe I'm not professional. Maybe I need to get a full frame camera, but I'm also cheap. So the 6D came out in 2013. That was my phone, by the way. In 2013, it came out, the 6D, and I decided I'm gonna go full frame. So I bought it, and I loved it. I loved it so much for the last 6 years. That's the only main camera that I've used. I have the GH5, and I had a G7 in the Lumix field, mostly for video. But when it came to photography and some little bit of video on that end, it was the 6D. Has a single card slot, which isn't professional. Well, guess what? My Canon XH-A1 and my little cheapy camera from 2002, they had a tape that can get ruined really easily. So I get the 6D and I used it for the last 6 years, and my business has grown. And nobody's asked me, what do you use, Jared? Is that professional? Nobody has asked me that. I just keep charging more and more, and my business keeps growing and growing, and the quality of these images are amazing. I mean, it's you editing a raw file. If you cannot do that, then you should not be in this business. And I'm doing what I love, and I'm doing it on a budget, which is amazing, because then you got to realize that the camera is not professional. You're professional. You make everything professional. The camera doesn't make it professional at all. So now here we are, 2018. Everything's been coming out over the last couple of years. I've been following Sony. Maybe I should go to Sony. Oh, they offer all this, this, and this. And I could not jump because of one magic thing. ROI. Return on investment. My clients would not know the difference between a Sony camera and a Canon camera. They would not know the difference. Could I spend more money for the same result? And I couldn't justify that. Couldn't justify jumping ship. But then, the big boy that's looking at me right now, and by the way, you're probably wondering, it is the EOS R looking at me, and I'm looking at it. And by the way, oh my gosh, apple cider makes me freaking gassy, and it is the season, so it is like a gassy season. So I do apologize if you from catching myself. The EOS R came out, and this camera is more expensive than some of the smaller ones. But I gotta tell you what attracted me to this camera. For one, it wasn't that I needed a new camera. I could honestly shoot with the 6D for the next 15 years. No doubt. Architectural photography. It's you. It's not the camera. I could be shooting forever. It's because I wanted a new toy. That's absolutely the only reason I bought it. Don't tell my wife that. But I wanted a new toy. I wanted a new toy, but I wanted some bells and whistles, and I wanted something easy to use. I like Canon. I'm invested in the glass. I'm using a 16 to 35 millimeter f4 on the EFR adapter. And it's awesome. I mean, you tell me, look at this. Everybody's saying, oh, it's not that sharp. It's sharp. If you think it's not sharp, then use a 4K monitor or watch a video that was actually uploaded in a high bit rate. This is sharp. I have a GH5 and I'm comparing it to my GH5. This is sharp. And the people that are telling you that it's not sharp are either not looking at it on a 4K monitor, they're not exporting it with a high bit rate, or they're just going off specs or other people's opinions. You gotta play with this camera yourself. It is sharp. I don't care about the crop. I think the crop is great. The 10 to 18 millimeter, this thing is like a 17.5 millimeter on a full frame. The EOS R is a fantastic camera. It's awesome. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It works well, it functions well, it's intuitive. Everything about it is great. I can go over details about it, but it doesn't matter. You've seen those videos and they're just redundant. I'm giving you one man's opinion. And the point of this video isn't to tell you to go out and buy this. The point of this video is you're the professional. So the whole point of this is you're the professional. The camera's not the professional. You make good quality. The camera doesn't make good quality. So I'm not telling you to get the EOS R. If you're in the Canon family already, it's a good camera. I mean, it's an excellent camera. If you're not, don't get it. Go with whatever is in the field that you're comfortable with, because in the end, it is a tool. If you like this video, please subscribe. It encourages me to get more videos out there. Tell me what you'd like to know more about. I'm not gonna do that lame thing that people do. I'm just gonna be like,